Hello and welcome back to the Pendulum Podcast. Now on Spotify, we upload Sunday nights to YouTube and Monday nights to Spotify. Last week we talked about logic versus emotion. This week we're going to talk about the importance of friendships. I believe this idea came from a listener, if I'm not mistaken.
A friend.
A friend.
One of my friends. Not your friend.
He's my friend.
My friend.
He's my friend.
Anyway, yeah, he shot me a text and he was like, hey, there's a couple of things that I think would be cool to talk about. Oh my gosh. And he was like, he gave me 2 or 3 ideas. And a lot of those ideas we kind of already were going to touch on. We just haven't got quite there yet. Bibo's pretty cool. Also, side note, it's really windy today. So if you hear some background stuff, that's why. Also, my $150 American flag is currently getting destroyed. But anyway, this friend of mine texted me some of these ideas, and one of the things that was absolutely on my list to talk about and kind of sparked this was friendships. In my experience with my skill set, let's say, I'm a very mechanical person, and with my skill set, it's really easy for me to get taken advantage of because everybody and their brother's like, oh, I've got this old car out back that won't start and hasn't ran and whatever. Or, hey man, it's really easy for you to like do this stuff. And that's one of the things that happens a lot is it's like, oh, you do it all the time, so it's really easy for you. Well, it's just as much effort for me as it is for you. But the perception is because I do it all the time, I know more about it, it's easier. So it's like, oh, it's easy for you. Can you just come help me really quick? Or, hey, help me swap the engine in my whatever. And then those friends kind of come and go. So in my experience, I've gotten taken advantage of a lot by friends that were newer and some that were friends for a long, long, long time. And it took me a while to realize that this relationship was no longer mutually beneficial. It was kind of beneficial in one way. And so,
Right.
But yeah, let's get into the actual part of it. So
yeah, we're going to look at how to choose friends, how to keep friends, and how to decipher when it's time to not be friends with somebody.
Yeah.
So we kind of made some notes. So for me, how to choose a friend, I think I sort of will. Let's say you're in a group setting and you see somebody, you know who you're going to get along with. And specifically for me, I get along with people who might be a little different, a little more methodical. Maybe they're not going with the flow of the group. And that's kind of how you and I became friends, actually. I'm drawn to people who are a little different. And I don't have a lot of friends, and that's kind of how you and I started to be friends is, like I said, we were in a group setting and you and I just kind of linked on a little more deeper, a little more emotional connection.
Yeah.
And I like that because not a lot of people are like that. So
a lot of people don't like to get on that level.
And I think
a lot of men don't
you were saying the same thing about how you choose friends.
Yeah. Actually this specific friend that came up with this episode, I actually chose him out of a crowd to be friends with. So it's funny that you said that because this person hung out in a crowd of, I don't know, 5 or 6 guys, and they're all cool guys. They're all, rock crawlers, and they like to do stuff that I like to do, and they had pretty similar interests. But this one guy stood out in a certain way, and I kind of was like, hey, he was looking for to buy a Toyota 4Runner, and I was like, hey man, like I know a lot about that stuff. Like I could go with, and I wheel and deal all the time, so I'm like I could go with you. And him and I ended up driving all over the states, multiple states sometimes. And just talking in the car, and him and we talked about, his dad and his issues with his father, and he was raised by his grandparents, and like he has an old soul, and he's like really likes old music and that kind of stuff. So we really got to know each other based on the fact that I was just like, hey man, I know how to do this stuff. Like I'll go and wheel and deal for you, and so we kind of created a relationship out of thin air because I offered to help him. And that's one of the key points I wanted to make in this podcast today is like, if you want to find good friends, be a good friend.
Yeah.
If you aren't a good friend, you're going to be surrounded by people that are not good friends because the good ones aren't going to stick around to get taken advantage of. So if you want to find a best friend, be a best friend, be a legitimate person that's willing to help and, selfless. You don't count cards, as they say, right? like, oh, I bought dinner last time, it's your turn kind of stuff. You just don't count cards, and you don't attribute malice to these people until it's time. And we'll get to that part later. But this person and I created this relationship based on similar interests and just spending time together. And the more time you spend, the more you realize that you're, more invested in this person. And, now me and this person are still great friends, and that friendship kind of happened out of thin air. But I always say, like, I picked him. Like, I picked him out of a crowd.
Right.
And I don't say that like, I picked you, like this friendship sits on my shoulders. It's not like that. It's like, I picked you because you're different than everybody else. I picked you because you were better than those guys.
Yeah. This person went out of his way to make me feel included and invited me to different things, outings. Like, we both had Harleys at the time.
Yeah.
And the first ride we went on, he bought me a bell for my bike, which nobody had. And that's a super meaningful thing. If you're doing the bike thing, that's a very meaningful thing. So yeah, I was just drawn to, made me feel included. He was super intellectual, just a good person. So yeah.
So where we were going is choosing friends. Is like you choose your friends off of similar interests, similar mentalities, but also somebody that is going to jive with your soul, right? Like, there are people that you can hang out with that just you feel tired afterwards, or you're just like, like, this is a key factor. You want to know how you will know in your heart if you want to get closer with a person? When they call you.
Yeah. What's your reaction when they call?
What's your reaction when they call? If you're like, oh my God, dude. Or you're like, oh, like, that's how I know.
Yep.
My best friend calls me. I'm like, oh, wonder what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, oh, Lord, dude, what a mess. So it's like, that's how you know. Is you're like, this person is draining me.
Draining. Like, I don't want to sit and listen to you gripe and complain and your drunken stories or whatever.
Yep.
I
wasted.
It's a waste of my time. I spend all day on my phone for work anyway, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's another point.
Yeah.
Is that this might not be the same thing for everyone. I feel like the reaction thing is the same, but for me and you specifically, for our jobs, there is, I don't know, like 80 people that work there.
Mm-hmm.
Every single person needs something from me. So I'm on the phone constantly.
Yeah.
Emails, phone calls, texts, calls on my other phone, my receptionist phone when she's not there. So, like, I'm always on the phone. So if I'm talking to you, I really, really want to talk to you, because otherwise I don't have it, dude. I don't have it.
Yeah.
Just like our buddy we just saw at breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, I'm sorry. I was going to get back to you, but like, because he called me twice, and come to find out,
you twice.
Come to find out, he was here.
Oh,
that's why, because he was in the driveway, and I was like, yeah, sorry, brother, I wasn't even home.
Yeah,
and he's like, I thought you were, because
you had stuff everywhere.
Yeah. But anyway, so if they call you, your reaction is a key factor. And honestly, like, it's not worth it to keep friends that just aren't worth it, man, because they're in a certain circle, or they like to do certain things, or it's not worth it. In my experience, I've had friends for years.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, one friend I can mention. I used to go to this guy's house every single weekend for like 2 years. And I'm not kidding, like every single weekend. We built stuff together. I brought him in on my deals and helped him make money. We worked in the shop together. I taught him a bunch of stuff that I knew, like, kind of, he mentored me because he's a really good welder, and I kind of mentored him in like engines, because he doesn't really like to mess with the inside of an engine. So we did a bunch of that stuff together, and I think I got him I feel like I got him a little bit more comfortable. And then he like pushed me to be better. Like, when we were doing the engine mounts on my rock crawler, like, I tacked him on, and he's like, yeah, that looks good. And he goes, here, handed me the welding gun. He's like, you're going to weld them. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm a proficient welder, but dude, you'll make it look better. And he's like, I don't care. I'm not doing it. You're doing it. So he like made me do. So like, we were really good friends. Did dinners with our families. And anyway, I just had this feeling that it was kind of one-sided. I just got this weird feeling. And one day I just stopped calling and stopped texting. Just didn't engage at all. And that person didn't call me for 2 years. After being like that close, and I just stopped engaging.
2
And not like
years?
it's not like I stopped calling him, or it's not like I stopped answering the phone. I'm saying I stopped calling, so the phone calls stopped.
Mhm.
It was always me,
Mhm.
and didn't speak to this person for 2 years. I had moved over here, and out of the blue one day, he was like, "Hey man, like we could come over and like visit." And he came over here, spent the weekend, brought one of his buddies. We went and did some rock crawling stuff, and like had a pretty good weekend. And he left, and haven't spoken to him since, because I don't call him.
Is this the same person that berated you?
No.
Oh, different person. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Berated me where?
You told me the other day somebody berated you because you were in the area and you didn't stop to visit.
Oh no, that was that was actually a guy that I had been friends with since we were like in 3rd grade, like one of my best friends.
Mhm.
And people's perceptions are different. But at the time, me and this person and like another person, we were like the 3 amigos in high school and out of high school. And when we were being, jackasses and doing dumb stuff, lots of cool stories, lots of cool memories. But we had a Marco Polo. It's like a whatever.
It's
you
like an
call it.
old people Snapchat.
Yeah. It's like,
Mhm.
well, it's like video messaging. It's not old people Snapchat.
It's old people Snapchat.
Anyway, we had a Marco Polo going, and we were all talking almost every day, like just little stuff about what's going on at work or the kids or whatever, like kind of a mini support group for our guys, right? Did you plug this in? Sorry, hang on a second. You didn't plug this in.
I thought you were gonna plug it
You
in.
said-
I brought you the thing. That's you. That's for you, not for me.
Here. Oh, it's right here. Okay. I gotta plug my. Okay, we're back. Anyway, so we were. Okay. I wanted to do the pause thing.
Oh, okay.
So we were talking pretty much every day. And anyway, I was coming to around his area, like within 10 miles of his house for a wedding, right?
Mhm.
Well, it was one of those situations where like me and Jody ripped into town. We were going to do the wedding thing. We are going to stay in a hotel right down the road. And then we were going to rip out first thing in the morning because we, have dogs and our lives are here. And so we had to, and this is like 3.5 hours away from my house. So we were just going to do a quick in and out, and we just didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell the person that came up with this episode. I didn't tell him. I didn't tell anybody in the area. We're going to rip in, rip out.
There's also another factor to that, because when
What?
you moved away from that side of the state because you didn't like it, over here you enjoy your life much better. And when you go back there,
Yeah,
it's not a vacation.
it's
You want to get
unenjoyable.
in and out because you don't enjoy living over there. There's a reason you moved
I go
away
there-
from there.
I go there for a purpose.
Mhm.
I
In and
I
out.
don't go there to hang out and like whatever. And it sucks because I would really like to go, visit the person that came up with this episode, or I'd like to go and whatever, but I don't enjoy it over there. So it's not a vacation to me. It feels just like work. It feels like there's effort taken, right?
It makes me feel heavy. I don't know.
So-
yeah. Anyway, continue the wedding.
So I roll up to the wedding.
Mhm.
Everything's cool. We're having a good time. I go to get a beer at the beer garden or the person. And I walk up, and this blonde lady turns around, and it's his wife. And I'm like, oh, here we go, dude. Oh, didn't know you were going to be here. Blah, blah, blah. I bet you there's somebody that would like to see you. And I'm like, yeah, well, we just came in real quick, in and out, whatever. Like, whatever. And she didn't say it like that, but I felt that, it was like oh, hi, how you doing?
Hey, no,
Interesting.
you were gonna be here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and I'm like, and one of the things which I'll go in deeper into this a little bit deeper later. One of the things that will ruin a friendship for me, cold turkey just destroys a friendship, is if your behavior is bad and I can predict it. Meaning if I know what you're going to do
Mhm.
and then you do it and prove me right, I don't have a lot of interest in being your friend anymore. That ruins it for me. And this person is that type of person where I'm like,
You knew how they were gonna react.
I knew what's coming.
Yeah.
And I swear to you, 5 minutes later, my phone goes, well, what the heck, dude? Thought you were going like whatever. And it was him.
They weren't there?
She was the bartender. She was working.
Oh, she was the bartender.
She was working
They were
there.
not guests. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand now.
And I go to talk to my buddy who knows this guy.
Mhm.
And I'm like, hey, you mind if my buddy swings by and like comes and has a beer with us or like hangs out or whatever? And I even text him like, hey, man, I'm 5 minutes away from your house. You could just swing by the wedding and come hang out with us. It's not a big deal. No, I'm in the middle of stuff. I'm feeding animals or whatever. I'm busy at the house. I'm like, okay, cool. No worries, man. Sorry, I couldn't come and see you, but we're just doing a quick in and out, whatever.
Yeah, that wasn't what the program was.
So we go through the wedding and everything's cool. And I'm just like, great. Well, I kind of thought that was it. I'm like, I kind of feel like a piece of crap because I didn't whatever. But at the same time, like he's this. So I had lived on the east side of this state for the other side of the state, like 3.5 hours away. I'd lived here for like 4 years by that time. This person had never come to visit me. And I'm pretty sure I had been to his house at least once, but I'm pretty sure twice or 3 times.
In that
Like
period
just
of time.
stopping by or like saying hi, like love you, bud, give him a hug, like show me around the house kind of stuff, show me your projects. Like stayed and BS for like an hour and then left. And so I'm like, that's in my mind. I'm like, well, I didn't. He's never come to see my house and he's had plenty of opportunities. Anyway,
Then he berated you, right?
no, so we leave the wedding, everything's cool. And like the next day I get a Marco Polo that's like 10 minutes long. And I'm like, great. So he was nice about it, but he didn't berate me. What he did was he just like guilt tripped the hell out of me. Well, it just makes me feel real crappy and you can't come and and in the middle of him basically giving me the biggest guilt trip of my life, well, probably not the biggest guilt trip of my life, but a pretty big guilt trip for a friend. He said, and I know I haven't come to see your house, but that's not the point. And I'm like, okay, wait a second. So rules for me, but not for ye? Like, what the heck's going? So I have to be a good friend, but you don't? So I stopped replying to Marco Polos.
Mm-hmm.
I replied to that one and I was like, I kind of laid into him. I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude. Like, whatever, man. If that's where our friendship is, then cool.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't Marco Poloed since. I think I was looking for a transmission for Dad's truck or something. And I asked him if he's still rebuilding transmissions. And like, we might've sent 1 or 2 back and forth, but like the 3 group is done. It just doesn't exist anymore. And I Marco Poloed him personally, maybe once or twice since then. This was 2 years ago. And I just don't have a lot of interest because I'm like, look, man, I love you a lot. I love this guy. Like him and I have been through a lot of stuff. But if that's where our friendship's going to be, where it's, I have to carry the weight on my shoulders and it's up to me to come see you, but you don't have any obligation to me. I got other people that won't do that to me. I have other friends that will hold themselves to a higher standard and not treat me like that. So I'm good. Still love you. And honestly, I saw I don't know if it's a meme or a Facebook reel, there's millions of different names, but I saw a short video the other day that said, it was some chick and she's like, where my friendship lies is I'll answer the phone. I'm just not calling. And that's kind of what I feel. It's like, if he called me and he was like, hey, bud, I'm in the area, I would absolutely answer the phone. I'm not calling you though. I'm not going to engage that. The engagement part where I'm putting in the effort is done now. I'm not going to do it. And it's not because I'm upset. It's not because I'm whatever. I feel like I just feel like there's no return for my investment. So
okay,
that's that story. But, and then in contrast, this is very much on the subject of how to pick good friends is by experience, right? So you have adversity in your friendships. You'll have people that do things you don't like. And my best friend, we were here in the shop and I was working on my 4Runner, and keep in mind, like me and this guy do everything together. We build everything together. And we had built a bunch of his projects in a row. And we had my 4Runner in the shop and I had kind of felt like it was my turn. Like it's my turn. And I would come home from work and I would work on my 4Runner by myself. And he'd be 13 feet away working on the front axle for his next build. And this went on for a couple of weeks, and I just festered on it and festered on it and festered on it. And you know, like when I get actually mad, like I'm actually upset with you, I just stop talking to you. I just don't engage. I'm done engaging with you, period. I just don't talk. Because if I do talk, I'm going to blow up. And not like blow up in anger. It's all going to come out. And one of the things that I do that's probably a toxic trait is I always second guess myself. I'm like, am I actually the problem here? Like maybe it's not a big deal and I'm just making a big deal of it. Or maybe I'm just getting in my feels and it's not a big deal. Like maybe I should just back off and whatever. And maybe he just forgot and he'll turn around and whatever. So anyway, 3 weeks of me second guessing myself and festering, I was heated, dude. And I didn't know how to bring it up because I didn't want it to become like a big, huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I just shot him a quick text and I was like, hey man, like you're really hurting my feelings. Like with this crap. Like I feel like you're supposed to be helping me. And I feel like you just don't care because you're over there working on your own stuff. And we've done a bunch of your projects in a row, dude. And I like give you everything. Like I'll do anything for you. And I just kind of felt like it's my turn. And you're using my turn on your own. Like it feels kind of selfish. Like this sucks. And his response, I'll never forget it. His response was, why didn't you tell me sooner? That's a good friend.
Premium friendship right there.
That's where you're like, bro, this one's a good one.
He didn't go into like, well, we do this and you and blah, blah, blah. He didn't like,
100%.
No, he was like, he wanted to solve the issue. Why didn't you tell me sooner? That's
100% ultimate accountability, zero excuses. Why didn't you tell me sooner?
Good. Yeah.
He was just like, yeah, dude, whatever he felt about it, maybe he felt justified, whatever. But I told him that it hurt my feelings and he was ready to change his ways to make sure that our friend or modify our friendship in a way that it worked for the both of us.
Yeah.
That's, like you said, premium friendship. That's why that person's my best friend.
Yeah.
So that's why when we talk about choosing your friendships, it's stuff like that. You could, and like I said, you should never count cards, but you could kind of put the check mark in the thing where you're like, now I know I can tell him stuff. And I say this all the time, and I haven't ever said it on the podcast, so I'll say it now. You teach people how to treat you. You show them what you think is acceptable in a relationship, and you teach them. If somebody does something crappy to you and you let them get away with it, you're teaching them that it's okay. If you check them and you're not worried about them going away, then they know like, oh, that's a button I can't push with that person, right? That's a place that I can't go. And little check mark. But if you let them get away with it, and you let them get away with it for 3 years, then all of a sudden you're like, hey, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Well, what the heck? It's been fine up until now. It's been okay with you.
You got your panties in a bunch. What's wrong with you today?
It wasn't okay the entire time. I just chose that long to say something. And so your move,
that's on you.
If you're going to create good friendships, your move is to check people. And that doesn't mean become the boy who cried wolf, like everything, but like the big stuff, the deal breakers for you. Make sure you tell people that what your deal breakers are, because at least in my experience, and all the things I talk about in this podcast are my experience. It's my perceptions. I'm not saying this is the way the world is. I say this is the way I view the world, right? In my experience, you create better friendships when you call people out on their BS, because the ones that are not willing to do the work leave, and the ones that are willing, the ones that are invested, stay. So make friendships with people that allow you to call them out, that allow you to check them every once in a while, and that check you back.
See, I saw something on Facebook that said why you should have friends who are older than you, because they won't put up with your BS, they won't whatever, and they'll check you. And I was like, while I agree with that, you should just keep friends no matter of their age that will do that for you anyway. It doesn't matter. You don't need to have friends that are older than you. You need to have a true friend who's going to check you on your, and like, hey, you've been doing this for a while. Quit it. Like, that's not good for you. And you know it. So stop it.
Yeah.
Like you do for me. But it doesn't matter that you're older than me.
I just think that it means like when they're older, they're less likely to deal with your crap. Younger people, and again, my experience, younger people, and myself included, tend to deal with more BS because they're afraid of losing friendships because of social status. When you're younger, you care more about where you fit in the world than when you're older. You're like, I've dealt with all this crap. I don't give a crap if you ever see me again. Like, my rules are my rules, and this is where I sit, right? So I think that older people are less likely to deal with your BS because they've dealt with so much in their lives. There's like a probability curve of them telling you to F off, essentially. So it maybe not only old people, but
it's okay.
more
I understand.
likely.
It's more likely. Yeah.
So, not to mention, I want to say one more piece about that. I think that with old people and young people, I think old people are more likely to call you out because there's this like older brother, younger brother, or father, son. There's this dynamic where it's more acceptable to call you out if I'm here and you're here than it is if you're like this, which I don't agree with, but I think socially that's how it is. If my dad walks in this shop and he goes, Jackson, you're messed up, you're going to stand there and listen because of who my dad, because he's an older guy and you have respect. If one of your buddies that's a year younger than you comes in here and starts pointing, you're going to get a little bit more defensive.
I'm going to listen to him, but I'm going to be like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. The dynamic is a little bit different there. So
I understand. Yeah, that makes sense.
So what were you going to say? You like,
well, I was going to say, we've talked about how to choose friends and how you and I would choose somebody.
Yeah.
How do you keep a friend?
Well, I kind of touched on this earlier, like, be a good friend, man. Like, be a good friend. And there's a very important part that I think people miss is that friendships are not one size fits all. What I do for my best friend might not work for another friend. Like, the way that I show my love is like my love language is time spent. I think it's either time spent or acts of service. It's one of the two. But I show my love in acts of service and time spent. So if you don't want to be around me and you don't want to do stuff for me, I don't have a lot of interest because that's where I feel loved. So with my best friend, he comes over here all the time and we do stuff together. So it's like, it's a perfect relationship. And I actually think that his love language matches mine, if that makes sense, right?
It might. I have no idea.
So
it might.
So, and same thing with our friendship. Like you spend time with me and we do stuff together. You do stuff for me. So like, that's where I feel love is that, but it's not a one size fits all.
No.
The expectations I have of I don't know. Have we said his name before? I don't think we've said his name. I don't know if I want to. I'll have to ask him if I can say his name. I mean, it's a pretty common name. It's like the second most common name in the whole wide world.
It's not the second.
It literally is.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Let's look it up.
Go ahead.
Anyway, this person. What was I going to say? Shoot. Oh, I have different expectations. Why did you laugh? Because that's what you do. You go shoot.
Shoot.
I have different expectations of this person than I do you. So it's not a one size fits all.
I guess how you said earlier, teaching people how to treat you would also fall under the category of how to keep a friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's sustainability.
Yep. Not to mention so it's so funny because we talked about adversity and like how society views adversity as a bad thing. Society views like creating adversity in a relationship, like not creating adversity, but like calling people out and saying, hey man, you hurt my feelings. Like that sucks. Don't do that anymore.
Oh, you're entering their safe space.
One of the greatest things about doing that is that if you do that to them, you instantly give them the credit card. Now I can do that to you because there's not a double standard here. So one of the ways to keep a friend is if you're calling them out on their BS, if they call you out on your BS, don't get defensive and don't start getting upset because you're not above it. If you do it to them, you better be ready for them to do it to you because you gave them the pass. If they accept your whatever, my brain doesn't work right now. If they accept the negativity coming up from you and you're like, hey, this is my expectation of you. And they say, okay, I get it.
And then they feed it right back to you. You can't.
They come and throw it back at you. And you go, absolutely not. That's a good way to lose a friend. So that's one of the ways to keep a friend is be a good friend and also be willing to accept their critiques. So, and then also like I say all the time, ground your relationships in ultimate accountability and good intention. So if somebody doesn't call you for a couple of days, don't start freaking out and being like, oh, is this person not even, did I say something wrong on the phone last time? Or, oh my God, don't start spiraling out of control.
Maybe his house is flooded and he just doesn't have the time or whatever.
I literally have a friend that lives 3 hours away, 3.5 hours away. We send reels back and forth, like on Facebook and stuff. I won't talk to this dude for 6 months. And I've never, ever, ever second guessed whether or not we're still friends.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't either. I promise you. I could call him right now and be like, what's up, dude? Like, he doesn't care. Neither do I.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's fantastic. Mm-hmm. It's a fantastic friendship because I believe in my heart that our friendship is grounded in good intention, because I never think like, oh, does this dude like not want to talk to me anymore? Like, he hasn't called me in like 8 months.
I have a friend like that.
He never does that either. You do too as well. You're your childhood friend. Yeah.
Since like before kindergarten and after high school, we went our own ways. And I'd call him right now, and we'd pick up
100%.
We had hung out yesterday.
Yep.
But there's other people who, and you know the type of person I'm talking about, who I haven't talked to them in a couple months, and if I call them right now, oh, you're just getting around to calling me? Wow, I forgot you existed, or blah 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 blah. Don't give me that shit.
Yeah.
Don't.
And I've kind of mentioned that I have ODD, and my wife tells me to stop saying it. But I have oppositional defiance disorder. I don't actually have it because I'm not vindictive or whatever. But I do have this weird thing. I have an oppositional issue where if you tell me to do something, it's exactly the opposite of what I want to do instantly. Even if I was already going to do it, dude. If I'm on my way to open that door and you're like, you better open that door, I instantly am like, I'm going the other way, dog. Like, that's how this works.
I'm only laughing because you do that to me to gaslight me. And it's the most frustrating thing I have ever experienced. Like, I'll be working on something and I'm like, okay, I need a 9/16, it's like a deep socket. Go get that deep socket. I'm like, I'm already walking over here to get it. I'm gonna kill you. Don't.
Hell yeah. Awesome.
So frustrating.
Also, this just popped in my head too. Make fun of your friends.
Oh yeah.
Make fun of my best friend. His dad died. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We're in the shop, and I don't remember what we were talking about, but we're in the shop, and he like couldn't get something loose or something, and I go, well, it's because your dad died. And he goes, what do you mean? And I go, well, your dad died before he could teach you how to be a real man. And he just like, oh, what? We have that relationship.
Yeah, you've built that relationship, and
where
you know
I can say whatever I want to say, and he knows it's with good. It's about the joke. It's about the laugh. We're having a good time.
Like, I can call you fat all day long.
You
and
literally do.
And you are fat.
But here's the thing. If you said, hey, you're fat, and I was like, bro, dude, that actually like bothers me. It's something I'm working on.
Oh, then I
would never say it again.
Mm-hmm. I'd probably like help you work on it. But
the intention is not to cross lines. The intention is to open the language and be able to mess around with each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's how men, I think, get comfortable with saying stuff that's actually real. If I talk about your dead dad all the time, of course I'm going to tell you when you hurt my feelings, because I'm comfortable enough to talk about your passed away father and be a jackass about it. Of course I'm going to say, hey, dude, you hurt my feelings.
Yeah, men do say some. Like, we're working on this forklift last night. Had a couple drinks, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And then Jody and the girls were sitting over here listening to us. And I remember you saying, like, they overheard us and they were like, man, you guys are mean to each other. Like, you guys are terrible.
Dude, the chick at O'Reilly's, we went in there for parts.
Oh, yeah.
And we were like just rizzing each other. Is it Riz? Is that correct? Is that correct? No?
I don't know.
Riz? We're razzing each other.
No,
No?
No?
I
don't know. We were just doing what we do, and we didn't even think.
We were messing around with each other.
We don't even think about it because that's all we do.
Anyway, we're talking crap to each other. And the lady behind the counter literally goes, you guys are so mean to each other. And we're like, this group is like best friends. We all love each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, running a house in a burning house to save your cat, love each other. And people think we're mean to each other. That's a good, solid
really
relationship.
Good dynamic.
It is. And, but that's how you create the trust to be able to say stuff like that. Because if it was like, hey man, like between me and you, that actually bothers me. You talk about my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I would never say another word. I would never say another word, because that's also why, I don't talk about his weight, because I know that he's trying to eat healthy and he's doing the walking thing and whatever. I'm not going to do that because I don't think that's a line we should cross. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's hard too, because I call you fat constantly, but I don't want to do that to him because I don't want him to feel a certain way about it. Right. And I don't think that he's fat, but I'm saying he might think that. And so I'm not going to, right. I think that's a line you just don't cross.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to create the relationship where you can say whatever you want, joking. So that way, when it gets serious, you have the ability to use that language. It doesn't feel so weird, I think. So that's a good piece of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move on. What do we got? I moved it all the way down. So how to keep friends. Oh, what's this? You wrote down, does Jackson take advantage of TJ? Does TJ take advantage of Jackson?
Mm-hmm.
What is
Where
that?
did I write that? Oh. Cool, you talked about people take advantage of you.
Yeah,
and
that's happened a lot.
I'm always here, and whenever I gotta, work on something, it usually ends up here because it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I eat dinner 99% of the time, during the week. I eat dinner here.
Yeah, 4 days a week. Probably.
And so, I'm like, man, I really hope that you don't think I'm one of those people who's just a leech or trying to take advantage of you. But I got to remind myself, I go out of my way to go to the store for you guys, or, X, Y, Z. So,
yeah,
and then you could even go, I'm always helping you on your projects and stuff. Someone could look from the outside in, and they have done, let's be honest, and say that you take advantage of me, when I just don't see it like that, because you always help me with my stuff. Like I said, you feed me. We do everything together.
Yeah.
And you're working on that for TJ again. I can't believe, whatever. It's like, no, don't give me that, because I'm here for the experience. I don't have half of these tools at my house.
Yeah.
I don't get half the opportunity to do the things that I do at my house.
Not to mention,
and eventually someday I will have this. But
when it comes to that too, I think that you struggle with ambition. I think that when you go home and you are going to work in the shop, I don't think you do that by yourself very often.
I don't really have a shop. I have a garage. It's just storage.
Yeah.
I have a car in there.
And so I think when
my tools are crammed in there and they're not organized, and I get frustrated. And you're right.
That's what I'm saying.
It's overwhelming.
The tools are organized because we all work out of the toolboxes together. I have a lot of tools that you don't have, welders and this and that. And so it's easier for you to work on your stuff here. So half the time you're doing anything, you're doing it here anyway.
And that's where I joke around. I'm like, wow, maybe I would benefit from not being your friend, because then I would force myself to do it on my own.
Yeah, but you wouldn't learn half the crap. You know what I'm saying? I learned all this stuff from my dad. Thankfully, I had a good dad that basically put me in the shop since I started out tied to the bumper of a race car when I was 3 years old. And instead of trying to undo the knot, I guess, and this is what I'm told, I just climbed up under the hood, and I've been under the hood of a car ever since with my dad. But I learned all of this stuff from him. And so when about the time that I was probably 25 or 26, all of the old school stuff he had taught me, most of it, not all of it. He still knows stuff that I don't know, which is funny. But I started kind of learning more past that. I learned to be a really good fabricator. I learned how to do fuel injection. I learned how to do wiring harnesses. My dad hates wiring. He's like, our buddy with the 57 or with the 55, that every wire underneath the dash would be red. That's how my dad works. But he's really good in other ways. And so he taught me a bunch of this stuff and got me on a path, and I just expanded on what he had taught me. A lot of the stuff that I learned by myself, though, was easy to comprehend because I had a working knowledge of things already, right? So, and that's what I talk about when I talk about you. I'm like, you have a decent working knowledge of stuff, but there's a lot you don't know. And for you to go out and grab all the information and try to organize it in your brain is way harder and takes way more time than if I go this first, this next, this next, this next. The cylinder head gets torqued in this pattern, and this is why. You're not reading it from a book. You're not only learning from me, but then you're applying your practical knowledge of it in real time.
Well, there's another facet to that too, is that if I read something, oh, I won't process it at all. Like, and I know it's such a cliche. I'm a hands-on learner. I really am. In fact, if I don't do something 3 or 4 times, I'm gonna forget how to do it. So reading something, you want me to read? No, absolutely not. I like reading, but not to learn. I'm good. I'd rather just do it. So that's why I'm here.
So getting back on topic here,
Mhm.
no, I don't feel like I'm taking advantage of you because I'm teaching you stuff that is more valuable than any other, in my eyes, more valuable than any other thing you could be doing with your time. You're learning a lot. You are eventually going to be a really proficient mechanic. It's not that you're not effective now. There's a lot to learn. So I think you're getting like, and that's how I learned too. My my buddy Kurt, he since passed away, but he welded my first driveline and showed me how to cut shorten a driveline, my first one. And like all of my people that I learned old school stuff from, all these old guys that, I helped build a 67 Camaro when I was like 22 years old, and like went in this guy's shop like mine, and he had all these tools, and he's like, hey, let's put this tunnel ram on the small block and let's do stuff. So like I helped him do that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I learned from the old guys too. And now I'm just kind of returning the favor. And that's how it's supposed to work in the car world. Like you're supposed to teach the young guys how to do stuff right, maintain old school ideologies, but do it in a new school way. Like I always tell you, fit and finish is key. Fit and finish is the most important thing because it has to work. You want it to be effective, but it's got to look good too. Because you could be every other jackass that has 44 red wires under your dash, or, no offense, or you could be like we do it. And where people are like, wow, who did your wiring harness? And we're like, we did it from scratch. And then you have people paying you to do that stuff. So, but no, I don't think that we take advantage of either of each other. And here's the thing. The outside perspective doesn't matter. What other people think we're doing doesn't matter to me at all. At all. I don't care that people think you're a robot or that you're chasing me around trying to be me or whatever. I don't care. Because I don't feel like that. Because the instant I felt like that, I would kick your ass. Be your own person.
Well, and
I tell you that all the time.
Yeah, you might think that, but that's not my intention. So there's nothing more to be said about it. And so the rest doesn't matter. That's literally it.
It don't matter.
So
anyway,
well, okay, we talked about how to
when decide not to be friends. Yeah. When to choose. So
we kind of touched on this, but
you need to ultimately make the choice yourself. You have to come up with deal breakers. You also have to, it's a feeling thing. Like what I think people hold on to friends too long because either they've been friends for a really long time or they give them a certain amount of social status. And so they're willing to put up with more crap. If you go into a group of people, the coolest guy in that group usually is not the best person. The coolest guy is usually the worst friend, but because he's cool, everybody lets him get away with stuff.
I hate when you come into a group setting and like you're this way. You're going to like this guy. Everybody likes this guy. And you won't like that person for a different reason than me, but I don't like that person usually because everyone else tells me I need to like them because everyone else likes them. But for you usually it's a little deeper because you realize that they're just not the same person that everybody says they are. Yes. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no. So if you go into a group setting and somebody's like, this guy is so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He's the cool, whatever. You got to meet Jerry, dude. He's the coolest guy ever. And then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I instantly give 100% trust. That's the way I work in relationships, is that if I'm going to make a friendship with you, I instantly trust you because I pull the trust back a lot quicker than people, I think. But I give you instant trust. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Look, this guy's rad. Hey, Jerry, what's up, man? And then later on in the night, I see him get drunk and, calls his buddy's wife a bitch. I'm like, well, I don't really like that. So would he call my old lady a bitch? Because we'd probably have problems with that. Has 5 or 6 beers and then chooses to drive home. I don't really like that. That's weird. Or, I see my cameras. This actually happened. I see my cameras. I'm watching my cameras and he's out on the hood of his buddy's car doing coke out in the parking lot. Like, that's not really my style. At my house, like just kind of doing whatever you want, bringing drugs to my house. Well, I got kids.
This
and stuff.
house or the other
The
house?
other house.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah. I was like, huh. So I'm like, I don't really like this guy. This Jerry dude is like not that great of a cool person. But everybody else is like, oh, that's just Jerry.
Do you think people like that get away with that kind of stuff because of their status and everybody else already likes them, so everyone just gives them a pass and they're allowed to act like that?
Yes, but also people really like living vicariously through rebel people. So like if you're a rebel, you do drugs, you drive drunk, you do all this stuff that is like not really socially acceptable. If you're a rebel and you don't follow the rules, people automatically think you're cool because they would like to dabble in that life of not being a rule follower. They don't want to deal with the consequences though. So if you're the person that does that all the time, usually you're pretty cool. We know a couple people like that kind of do whatever the heck they want, and everybody knows them and everybody likes them.
And everybody's okay with what they do.
Yep.
Because it's them.
Oh, that's just, yep.
That's so-and-so.
Yeah, that's just so-and-so. Oh, holy crap, another DUI, man. That's just so-and-so.
Uh-huh.
So that's what I'm saying is I think people just live vicariously through these people and they make it okay. I see that, and unless I see any, like, I can't think of how to say it, but like a character, like if I see heart, if I see this person's actually a good person. Wait, the stuff we just discussed, one of my very good friends, does those things, or used to. He kind of stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Very good friend. Love the guy to death.
Yeah.
Great person.
I know exactly who you're talking
about. He's a great person, though.
Yep.
That's the difference.
He's a good person.
He did a bunch of dumb stuff, but he's a good guy.
Good father now, too.
He calls in on me, and he was one of my first friends when I moved over here, and he's just a good dude. So, like, that's where I would be like, this person does those things, but they don't have any heart. Whereas this other friend of mine does those things, and he's a good dude. He would give you the shirt off of his back. Come over here and help me sheetrock the lounge, like for free, for beers. Like just a good guy. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what's interesting is that it's more the little things that you see or don't see in these people that, like, I don't know. Well, I'll explain it like this. If you're, I don't know how to say this, PC. If you're a bigger woman, you don't get to be a jerk too, right? You get to be one or the other, but you, and I'm not saying it's okay to be mean, and I'm not saying it's not okay to be bigger. What I'm saying is that usually when you meet a bigger woman that's in the dating pool and she's trying to whatever, they're the sweetest gals ever. Mm-hmm. So like on societal attraction, they might be down here a little bit, whatever. I don't judge people like that, but I'm saying like
society does, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So maybe they're down on the scale a little bit, but they have a killer personality. So you're like, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in love. Like,
yeah.
I like this.
I think that girls that are up here in the 8, 9, 10 region, they think they have a pass to be a jerk. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about. Is that if you can't be big and rude. Right?
So you're relating this because this person done the things in their past, might still dabble, but because they're such a rad person, that's kind of the up and down
exactly.
of it. Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, your deal breakers are going to be different than everyone else's deal breakers.
Well, my deal breakers are going to be mine, and that's the whole point. Is when you're picking friends, you're gonna go off of what you have accepted in the past and learned you didn't like.
Give me an example of a deal breaker for you.
What getting taken advantage of is one.
Okay.
So I'll tell you a story, and I'll tell you a story about a friend of mine that I was friends with for a very long time, and I'm only telling this story because I can literally tell you the day I decided not to be his friend anymore. It was around Christmas time. We both worked at Lowe's Home Improvement, and this dude had a Toyota pickup that I had found him and helped him fix. And like, it was a pretty cool, rad truck. Well, it had taken out the main shaft bearings in the transmission. And we found another transmission on, I think it was Craigslist back then, Found it on Craigslist for like $600. We went to the dude's house, got it, threw it in the back of the truck, whatever. And so we had a spare transmission. Well, it was, like I said, it was around, it must have been Thanksgiving. It was actually around Thanksgiving, getting close to Christmas, starting to think about buying Christmas gifts for the kids and stuff. And Jody and I were not well off back then. We were, there was actually a time in my life when I went to the Coinstar while Jody cried on the couch because we couldn't afford fuel. So like it was not like we were dying, but we were, and I used to work my butt off to be able to have stuff and also make sure the house was good. So like all my extra stuff was so that I could have spare cash to do my stuff. That's why me and Jody have our money and then my money. Like when we do all the forklifts and all that stuff, that's my money because I put enough into the house to make sure that it runs properly. And I don't ask for a lot out of that. So anyway, my buddy's like, well, the transmission of my truck's getting really bad, dude. And I was like, cool. It's like Friday. Or it was Thursday. I only know that because of what's coming. It's Thursday. And I said, dude, here's the thing. Bring it over to the house. Get a ride home from your girlfriend. Drop the truck off. I said, come back Sunday. Give me $150 and I'll swap the transmission for you. I'll just do it for you.
For $150.
For $150. It might have been $250. I'm pretty sure it was $150.
Whatever.
Because he's a buddy of mine. So
Cheap.
I'm like, whatever. Yeah, it's cheap. And he lost his mind. He was like, what do you just think I'm made of money, dude? Like, you just think, what do you think? I just have money laying around. I could just throw you to or whatever to put my transmission. I can't do that. And I was like, okay, dude. Yeah, cool, dude. It's all good. Like, I wasn't trying to be a jerk.
Okay, go have a shop do it then for.
Well, no, I was just like, cool. I guess
that.
I think he expected it for free, but I go, I guess the transmission can just stay broken in your truck. Like, I'm sorry, dude. I have other stuff to do, whatever. Oh, yeah, cool. So he leaves. Next day, I get a phone call. Black Friday. Next day, I get a phone call.
I see where
he shows up. He shows up, and he's got this brand new toolbox, flip top truck box in the back of his truck. And I'm like, cool, dude. Where'd you get the toolbox? He's like, oh, Black Friday at Lowe's, dude. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Pops it open. It was like half full of brand new tools. I was like, dude, looks like you got a lot of tools here. I hope you got a good deal. He's like, yeah, dude, I spent like $300 on all this stuff. It's really good. So one day he tells me he can't afford to pay me to work on his truck because he's not made of money. And then he goes and blows a bunch of money on tools he doesn't know how to use. I literally remember the day I was like, yeah, I'm good on that forever. And he's actually reached out to me before on Facebook, like, hey, how you doing? I'm doing good, dude. I don't have time for that, dude. I don't have time for that. I have friends that would die for me, and I have friends that would do that. Which one do you think I'm going to pick, man? Sorry. Love the guy to death. I still think he's a good guy, but I'm not being taken advantage of. And I remember that to this day. And so every time that name pops up, I'm like, yeah, that friendship is ruined now. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I think Tupac said it. I still want you to eat. You're just not eating at my table. Like, I still want you to be successful, dude, but I'm just not. I'm not being a part of it.
I have a story like that.
Really?
Yeah. That person who broke my trust with the Snapchat and the friend group thing and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll go into detail.
Well, you kind of already did in a previous episode.
Did we?
Yeah, you talked about it.
Man, I'm forgetful.
Yeah.
Anyway, same thing. One day I was like, that's not for me. You broke my trust, and I still haven't talked to that person. However, I will say, if said person reached out and apologized to me, I would probably start talking to them again. I haven't heard a peep from that person. Well, obviously, they don't care. So
it showed you. Cool. It showed you the quality of their character.
The quality and the maturity and the, yeah.
Not only did they break your trust, but they refused to accept accountability for it and say, look, dude, I thought I was being cool in the Snapchat group. I thought I would show the picture. Whoops. Like, my bad, dude. I'm really sorry. Instead of doing that.
And they even reached out to another friend, a mutual friend of ours, and was like, why is Jackson not talking to me anymore? And said friend, mutual friend of ours, explained, like, well, you did this. He felt like this.
Yeah.
He feels he messed up. And he goes, oh, okay. And then that's where it lied.
I'm like, tell me you're a coward without telling me.
Yeah.
And I'd say it to his face.
Mm-hmm.
dude, that is a cowardly thing to do to a person that you call a friend. Just mess up and you know you're in the wrong and then just not say nothing about it. And that's fine. My friendship, and I mean, talking about yours, but my friendship doesn't mean that much to you, obviously, because you won't even fess up and come and like suck it up. Like my best friend. Yeah, dude. Why didn't you come to me sooner? Yeah.
Yep.
So square it up, dude. That's how you keep good friends. You got to be square.
Yeah.
So, or you're just a shitbag and you just aren't a good friend. You know what I mean? Like, and then have fun being alone or being with your
your other
like, shallow friends that nobody gives a shit and you're gone or whatever.
It's important for men to have solid friends.
Yeah. And I think that people are really quick to be like, oh, I would die. Blah, blah. I think that's kind of a common thing to say now, but like, okay. And I actually wrote this down somewhere, but okay, you die for your friends. Cool. That's pretty mainstream. Would you live for them? Would you be nice to them? Would you, sit next to them while they're fucking feeling suicidal? Sorry, I'm not trying to swear. I'm just getting in. Would you help them raise their kids? Would you, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, saying you're going to die for somebody, that's a cop out.
Yeah,
that's the easy way out.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's the easiest thing you could do is die.
Yeah. Would you live? Would you help your friends? Would you help them move or be there when they're sad or like a late night phone call? Like, hey man, I just, whatever, like one of my favorite things that we ever did. And I don't remember if you were a part of it, but when COVID happened, we had like conference calls on Snapchat for hours because nobody could be around each other. So like the two brothers would prop up the phone on the counter and leave it on video, and they would work in the shop. And the dude that lives up there, he would call, and there was like 6 of us, and we would all sit and drink beers. And I was smoking cigarettes at the time. We smoked cigarettes and talk crap, and we all just did it on video because then we could visit. Like that's cool, dude. So that was
Zoom shop meeting.
Zoom, yeah, it's on Zoom. So friendships, man, it's a hard thing to navigate, but you also need to be able to realize if your friend is putting in as much effort as you are, that if there's a delta between the two amounts of effort. And what I do, and it could be toxic, it could be normal, but what I do is I match your energy. That's what I do. I feel you not putting as much in. I feel you pulling back. I pay attention to certain things. Like I said, you should never count cards with friends, but when something happens, you're like, God, so-and-so hasn't been over here in a while, or so-and-so hasn't called. Then you can be like, well, I'm just going to match their energy. So like,
that might be a little toxic.
Well, I match their energy because I'm not going to keep putting in more effort than you all the time. I'm not going to keep that. It's more of a protection. It's not like I'm trying to punish. I'm saying if I'm not getting what I'm putting in, I'm going to put in what you're putting in, match your energy, and then that's the friend level.
And I'm sure there's a pretty lengthy period of time before that starts happening.
This isn't like a week. I'm talking like years. When I start to notice that this stuff is happening, it's happened for a long, long, long time. Like I said, I sat 13 feet away from my best friend watching him build his front axle and didn't say nothing for 3 weeks. And we were in the same room. What do you think is happening when somebody lives way over there and they don't come see me anymore? Or, I don't get a phone call or like the engagement isn't the same. Or every single time somebody shows up here at the shop and they want to work on their stuff and don't help me at all, I start matching their energy and I go, all right, cool. Well, you can use the tools, but you're going to do it in the goddamn driveway because I got my shit in here. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. So it's not like my intention is not to be toxic with it. It's if I'm not getting what I'm putting in, there's no sense in me wasting my time. I'll put exactly what you give. So it's like I don't know.
No, it makes sense.
I would actually go as far as to say that's not toxic. I think toxicity would be like, I don't want to be that person's friend anymore. Like, screw them. You know what I mean? Like, this is me trying to mitigate our friendship to make it work for both people. If this is where it works for you, I can come down to your level and be the level of friend that works for you. And then it works for me because then we're on the same playing field. I'm not going to be a level 10 friend to you if you're a level 2 friend to me. I'll bring it down to level 2 and we'll just
instead of shutting it off. Yeah, okay. You just find where you guys flow. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's kind of the intention. It's not like, it's not about that. So, but at any rate, you don't like it when I say that.
I don't like when you say whatever.
Do I say whatever?
In fact, I started saying that, and my buddy
dumb.
at work started saying that, and the girl he's seeing started saying it.
Really?
Whatever.
Mm-hmm. It's like whatever, dude.
Whatever.
Oh my god. Okay. So we're at 58 minutes. So let's remind everybody. So
the email,
pendulumpodcast47@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can email us.
You want to say what's up?
Also,
and talk some shit.
Reminder, we're on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say that already?
I did.
Okay. Yeah, we're on Spotify. We upload our YouTube video and audio Sunday night. And then Monday night, I'm uploading video and audio on Spotify as well.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think I'm an episode behind. So I'll have to do 2
You're
tomorrow.
Literally fired.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's fine.
So, but yeah, please just write in with your questions, comments, anything that you guys want me to talk about. My friend that actually came up with this episode and texted me, he texted me some other ideas about fatherhood and stuff. And he texted me like 3 or 4 ideas, and there's no way we could fit all those ideas into one podcast. Fatherhood's going to be one whole thing, I think. But the friendship one, I wanted to tell my experience because that's the stuff that I've dealt with, like getting taken advantage of. But ultimately, it's going to come down to you, man. Ultimately, it's going to come down to what your feelings that you get when you hang out with these people. If these people are draining you, or they're taking advantage, or you don't feel like you're getting what you're given, then maybe it's time to give it up. And honestly, like, maybe this is the toxic part, but it doesn't matter if it's been 20 years or it's been 20 minutes, man. If you're not getting it, you shouldn't give it. That's you shouldn't waste your time on people because, and I say this all the time, if I'm giving you energy and I'm not getting it back, there's somebody else out there that I could give that energy to that they'll give it back to me. They will match my energy. And I've proven that because I've had millions of best friends, dude. And I've talked to you about this too. I've had, let's say, at least 5 best friends for 10 plus years. And none of them are my best friend now, right? I have a different one. But none of them have been as good as this one. None of them have matched my energy as much as this person has. And none of them have ever done what that person did when I questioned them and I checked them. And he said, dude, you got to tell me this stuff because I'll accept it, right? I'm ready for that, for our relationship to succeed. So that's why I always say, like, maybe it's just time, dude. You never know. And I'll repeat myself. I still love these people. I still hope that they do good in their lives, and I still whatever, but I'm not like hanging out with them on Saturdays. Mm-hmm. These aren't the people we're engaging. They have their own lives going on, and it's all good. And if they want to show up and hang out in the shop, I wouldn't turn them away. I'm just not being the instigator anymore. I'm not stepping in. Mm-hmm. I'm standing right here where I'm at. And if you want to meet me here, that's cool.
On 10 toes.
Yeah, I'm standing on 10 toes. Mm-hmm. But if I'm going to stand right here and you're all the way over there, if you're unwilling to walk that far, dude, then I guess we're just going to stay this far apart forever, aren't we? So that was actually a good metaphor. Maybe.
So pick your friends.
People think I'm an idiot.
Pick your friends, maintain them, teach people how you want to be taught.
How you want to be treated.
How you want to be
teach
treated.
People how you want to be treated, yeah.
And exactly. If you got emotional leeches or whatever, and they're not flowing and it's not lining up, get them out. Cut the fat out of your life. You don't have time for that. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at.
And like I said, dude, good intention. So don't attribute malice to people when they have issues or they're, you never know what's going on in people's lives. And we were talking about driving the other day.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you don't know. Like that guy's like, we were driving down the road, me and Jackson, and I was in my car and this dude was just driving like a jerk past us. And then, tailgate. Oh no, he didn't pass us. He was tailgating me I pulled over and got behind him, and then he tailgated the car in front of me. Then he gets on the freeway and like swerves and does all this crazy stuff. So I'm in the fast lane and I get next to him, and he gets behind me and tailgates again. And I just pulled over to the slow lane and just let him go. And Jackson's like, we should whatever, like chuck quarters out the thing or whatever you were saying, chuck quarters out the sunroof.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe that guy's just angry. Maybe he just found out his old lady's cheating on him and he's speeding home and he's tailgate, or maybe his dad just died of cancer 2 weeks ago and he's just not thinking, or maybe the guy got beat up when he was a kid all the time by a bully, or
maybe
you never
he needs
know,
to be
man.
beat up again.
And I really, really try to keep that in my head, because people that give grace so easily should be revered, man. Because like my wife, every time she sees an ambulance, I'm like, there goes the meat wagon. She's praying for them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you talk about the different caliber of people. I'm a piece of shit. So what I'm saying is I try to be like that. And I try to be like, dude, maybe I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm attributing malice to something that doesn't even, deserve that. So
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. We're done.
That's
Pendulum
it.
Podcast 47 at gmail.com. On Spotify, Monday nights. We're uploading every Sunday evening, so you guys can listen Monday morning. We appreciate the feedback. We appreciate the listeners. My sister even called me and gave me some pointers, which she's dumb, so don't think about her. She told us to put the camera closer. We're also recording in 4K now, and I'm still working with it, so bear with me. I'm still learning this stuff. I don't know how to do it, but I'm just a freaking mechanic, dude. I don't know any of this stuff. There's a lot to it. So if people are like, oh, just do the recording on your phone and upload it to YouTube, it's not like that at all. We got new lighting, so thumbs up, thumbs down. We're not sure. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
We appreciate the patience and we appreciate the feedback. So
this is a cool thing. We're enjoying it. And I feel like some people are actually enjoying it as well. Actually, I want to make mention too, the person that came up with the idea for this episode and texted me, he told me when we did, what episode was it where we talked about, I think it was the last one, logic versus emotion, or comparing yourself to others. One of the episodes that we did, he said, I listened to it on my way home from the doctor in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, he said, you said something like, if you think you're doing enough, you're not doing enough. Like, if I'm going to live to be 82 years old, my life is half over, like you're not doing enough.
Yeah.
He goes, I went out in my shop and I was there all day. Like, I went out in the shop and just did stuff. Because you like...
the boots on after work effect.
Yeah. He said that somehow our podcast, like, motivated him. Like, I need to get out there.
That's what.
And I was like, hell yeah, dude. If we can positively influence one person, we're doing it. That's what we're doing. So, because men need support, man. So, yeah, anyway, we're doing a cool stuff. So what else? Is that it?
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for listening, folks.
Yeah, we'll get out of here. See you next week.
Get out of your hair.